Hi everybody, I have returned to my van from the hotel. It is definitely a continuously stormy, rainy day in Virginia. And I didn't film bringing the 3,000 watt home power power station into the van because there were a lot of people loading their vehicles. We were loading in a downpour, and I was up underneath the canopy. Didn't want to block all the traffic, so I just loaded this battery. Again, 65 pounds, and I could lift it myself. So I loaded this battery, brought it into the van, put it where I'm going to eventually, I think, build a little cabinet around it. So I'm gonna show you that now, and what I think I'm going to do with this battery, how I'm going to use it for now. I will still show you the solar panels and things like that when we finally get some sun in about 3 or 4 days. And I'll show you how I think I'm going to move my other batteries around. And so here we go. Let me turn you around and show you what's going on. Now, mind you, my van is not finished building out. I have been on the road 3 years. I've only been in this van a year. Did a lot of work the first year. Been going slow the second year because I'm trying to decide on things like color, what I want it to look like. But obviously the main concern and the main thing I have to get down is power. How am I going to power my home? And not for 6 months and not for 1 year, but multiple years, because I've been on the road 3 years. I love this lifestyle. I have no intentions of giving it up. I'm 67 years old and I've never been happier in my life. This is probably the healthiest I've ever been. I struggle with mental health a lot of part of my life, and I don't struggle anymore. I'm actually happy. So if you're considering van life, car life, I lived the first 2 years in a truck cab in the back of a pickup truck. And I did 5 months in Alaska in a tent with that truck in 2022. I highly recommend, for your mental health, if you are absolutely 100% miserable in your life, you can't afford your life anymore, which now I could never afford to be back in an apartment. I'm not paying $1,100 a month for a studio and $150 a month in utilities and pet deposits, and I'm not living next to people I can't stand, which is what happened to me before I got on the road full time. I just can't do it anymore. I prefer to live the way that I'm living. So anyway, I digress a little, give you a little bit of background, but let me show you what I've done so far with the power and how I think I'm going to use it. I have not plugged anything into my 3000 yet. We're going to do that now together, and just excuse sort of the unkept. I did finish framing the ceiling. I did that all by myself. So Lily is napping because it's raining. What are we going to do? We're stuck in the van. So, and I mean, it is flooded out there. So anyway, let's turn you around and let's see how we're going to use this brand new power station and how I think I'm going to get it to power my life. All right. So there's my door, right? Pan around. There's Lily. I only have 3 baskets that I carry my clothes in. I pared my clothes down to practically nothing. I do have what few winter clothes I have and a few blankets in this pack-away zip bag, which works really nice, right? If I just pan around, I just have some inexpensive drawers from Walmart. They were $70 each, and I have them attached to a 2x4 that is behind them, just screwed, and I have not screwed There are no screws through the middle of this fan. I've used all the holes that already exist. So I have no walls up just yet. I was just getting ready to make a cup of coffee. I'll do that in a minute. I have this kind of screwed. I have it screwed to my the little drawers here so I can have extra storage till I get some cabinets. So this is my 500 watt Jackery. This is my 1000 watt Jackery that is currently powering my Iceco fridge. This is a 63 quart dual zone Iceco fridge. I started out with a 23 quart fridge for my first 2 years. Was not dual zone, and I loved it, but I needed to carry more food because I go off grid, and it's just I have to go into the grocery store all the time with a small fridge. And I use this, by the way. I do not use either side as a freezer. It is 100% used as a refrigerator. Right now it is set at 34 degrees on both sides, and I do that because, number one, we are entering summer, and it's going to get very hot in this very black van. It's going to get hot anyway, and this fridge is going to start working overtime, and that means it's going to draw a lot more power. And if I have one side as a freezer, then I'm going to really be drawing down on my power banks. So anyway, right now this 1000 Jackery Explorer, because it's got this handle, right? It's not the V2 version 2. It's the it's only a year old, but it's the last year I think that they're phasing out these big handles. But right now I'm just powering up these little lights. The fridge is plugged in using this DC port. And I think since I have the 3000, I'm going to switch to AC power. AC power running on this, the Iceco running on this 1000 watt, tends to draw more power than the DC port. You have the ability on a Iceco fridge like this, and probably the other fridges, to have settings that you set to low draw. Okay, so you do have that ability in most of these fridges. So just FYI. So here is where I kept my 1000 watt Jackery this whole time. Is the fridge is here. Here's the door, right? Here's the sliding door. Here's the bed frame. You can see this is my garage. I am, here's my water source. I am pretty organized. Dog food. And then in the back, in my garage, I have some bins from Home Depot that are full of things I need. I don't feel I carry a lot of extraneous stuff. This is for my roof. When I get my roof up, it is low E, and it is a thermal barrier. So I do want to put that up when I go to put my ceiling up. Unfortunately, I bought it early, and so I'm having to carry it around. But that's what it is. So here we go. I am going to, let me see if I can get us some more light. There we go. So here's my fridge. There's the 3000, and it's installed right here. There's my bed. And I believe that I will probably build a cabinet around it here, just so it's protected from the other things in the garage, and it gets dirty back there, so give it a little bit more protection. I love this battery that it has these handles, and it has a flat surface, so I can put things on this surface. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn off the DC power to the fridge. So the fridge is now off. And by the way, yesterday when I went into the hotel, this 1000 watt generator was at 60, I believe 60, it was at 84%. And it is 66%. So from yesterday, 4 o'clock, to today, 11 o'clock, I've only used 20% in power in the DC plug to run the ice co. Now, mind you, it is 64 degrees outside. So temperature is everything. All right, so I always keep the AC cord right here in this pocket on the ice co, because when I run the generator to power up my stations or whatever I need, I can easily pull it out, so it's always plugged in. But I will disconnect the DC port. I am going to, let's put that there. I am going to turn on AC. Let's turn on the battery right there. It is telling me I'm at 100%, which we know because I did that in the hotel. We're going to turn on our AC ports. We're going to take our big AC power plug to the ice co, and we're going to plug it in right here. There's the beep. We're off and running. So we got removed 2 degrees because we were 34 and 34. And so in 60 seconds, it didn't take but a minute. So this is where this 3000 is going to live. Like I said, I think I'm going to build a cabinet around it just to give it protection when I start building out the walls and everything in this back area. And I've got a bin back here that is full of tools, big tools, drills, saws, things that once I get this build done, I'm not going to need anymore. So I'll be able to empty that and then have all kinds of more room back here, which I don't think I'm filling up. I have nothing on the back bumper of this van. I have nothing on the roof of this van. Everything I own is in this van. I have no windows. I don't want windows. I want to stay as stealth as absolutely possible. So this has actually been a little mini van tour on a very rainy day. So that's how we're going to do it. That's the first time it's been plugged in. And we will undo the DC. We're going to undo the DC, and we're going to put this power cord away. Now I'm going to use the AC power for now. And nice thing about it is I can change my mind because I do have an AC port on this battery. But right now, I don't want to run I don't want to run it DC. So I'm gonna put that away, and I have a bag for all the electronic cords I carry. And now what I think I'll do is, so there we go. Let's just check, see if it's pulling any power. And very nice. You'll see I'm 100%. You'll see input is 0, output is 0 because the fridge is not needing any power right at the moment. I have 99.8 hours of battery time right now. So this is where we are, and it's probably 11:30. Let me see what time it is. It is 11:27 on today. So I think what I will do is just monitor this, see how we use the power. In the meantime, what am I going to do with these other batteries? Well, I have been using my Jackery 500 up here. And I use this little bungee to attach it. So if I hit my brakes, it doesn't, and these are anti-slip, so it doesn't roll forward at all. And this is where, I'll do my fans. This fan being black, anything black is going to disappear in here. So this fan, and a fan in the back corner there, and Right now it's temporary, but this is the plug to this Max Air fan. And I have it run through and then down this wall. And when I need my fan to run, I just plug it in there, turn the power on. I have a remote and I run the fan. The back fan, that power cord goes over to the back wall. It comes down this pillar here, and that power cord is actually right here. And this is going to go right there in this Jackery 3000 port. Right there. Just like that. So I can run, so since I now have the fridge on AC, I can run my back fan at any point, my Max Air back fan. And that's all temporary until I can get my wiring done, get my walls up, get my ceiling done. Long process for me. There's not, you know, I got to do it as I have money. You know, that's the truth of it. I'm not a trust fund baby. I'm not a wealthy person. I have to do it as I have money. And I put in a light back here, so we'll turn that out. So actually that is, you just got a minivan tour. And I think this 1000-watt Jackery, that Jackery is going to move to the cab. And I think it will fit right there. Because this being a base model Ram ProMaster, I do not have a lot of plugs. It's not, I don't even have cruise control, which I'm fine with. These vans can have issues with cruise control, especially if they're very, very heavy and you've got cruise control set. So I prefer not to have it. I like to interact with my vehicle. So really I only have USB port, USA, and then I have this little lighter plug here, which runs a camera. So by putting the Jackery here, whether it's the 1000 or the 3000 or the 1000 or the 500, will give me an opportunity to plug in other items up here, which I do. I have a Garmin Drive Smart that goes right there. Of course, my phone goes there. I'm not on my phone when I drive. So all of that technology needs power. So by installing the battery here and putting it here, I will have a lot of ports to be able to use when I drive. By the way, I clean my vehicle every day. That's why it looks half decent. So I'm going to make a cup of coffee and relax. Lily has got that look on her face. She has not pooped today, and it's raining. You want to say bye, Lily? Do you want to give me a high five? Can you give me a high five? High five. High five. Give me a high five. It's a lazy high five. All right. Hi, everybody. It is 11:27 on the 29th of May. It was yesterday that I loaded the Jackery 3000 home power system into my van and plugged in my Ice Co fridge. I wanted to do exactly 24 hours to see how much power I used in a 24-hour setting. It's really important to me to try and draw to go as long as I can without having to worry about set up solar panels, plugging in. I want to see how long this battery can go, because I have found it challenging now that I'm on the East Coast with all the raininess that's going on right now. So I'm going to turn this around so you can see what's happening. All right. The Iceco is actually running right now. Back up a little bit. One side is 38, the other side is 36. It is actually set at 36, but this often happens where they're not, you know, they don't run exactly the temperature. I don't know of any of these type of fridges do that. I am set at economy. I am set at, also the L stands for low. So this fridge is set at its lowest pulling power. Both sides of the fridge are set to just refrigerator. Even though it's a dual zone, I'm only running it as a complete fridge. And this is where we're at. Right now the fridge is running off of the Jackery. Let me pull you down right here. Oh, light on. All right, this is where we are. We are at 83% for exactly 24 hours of use. The only thing plugged into this Jackery 3000 has been the Iceco fridge. Right now, I'm pulling 54 watts, 53 watts, 54 watts because the fridge is presently on and drawing power. We're running 120 volts, 60 hertz. And so you can see that given this from 100%, I should be able to power this fridge for quite a few days without worrying about charging this battery. I'm very happy about that. HomePower 3000. Let's keep that up tomorrow at exactly another 24 hours or 48 hours. We'll take a look at where we are on power draw. There you go. I think it's looking pretty good. Normally I would have to be finding a way to charge right now on my 1000. This makes me very happy for a full 24-hour use on this HomePower 3000.